Hi folks, and welcome back to the Travels of Red Rover. We are Shawn and Corinne, travelers, photographers, and adventurers. We hope you enjoy the video.
Hi folks.
Hi folks.
We're here at Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming.
Finally had a few nice days of nice weather, so we're out visiting the park today.
Yes, we've had a few rainy days leading up, and that's kind of nice in the sense that we have a fresh new layer of snow up there on the mountaintops behind us.
Yes, and we've been out actually photographing this morning, although we didn't videotape any of it, because things were just happening too fast.
It was our first sunrise morning, so we wanted to take advantage of the fog and mists and clouds and get the best pictures we could. So we'll share those with you
a little later, and we'll also talk about them. I'll do a little narration over top of them so that you have an idea of how we took them and what we were thinking at the time. So, but how many days are we going to spend here? At least 3, I think.
We're going to be here 3 days, and it's weekdays, so we're hoping it won't be too busy.
Yeah.
So we're here mostly to do landscape photography, although it's also a popular spot for wildlife photography. As we've mentioned in some of our previous videos, we're not big on wildlife photography. One of the things that's important to know if you come to visit this park is the best photography is in the morning if you're doing landscapes.
Especially if you're doing landscapes. The morning light is really special on the Tetons behind us, and it's really where, when you see those fabulous photographs taken in the Tetons, most, if not all, well, at least many are taken in the morning.
Right, the Teton Range runs in a north-south direction, and the park is on the east side. So sunset happens behind the Tetons and they get all shadowed. So most photographers prefer to get up early and get out and do their photography at sunrise and early morning.
And that's great, except when you're here in late June and sunrise is really early in the morning.
Yeah, it's a time of year where you have very long days.
It's a time of year when Corinne and I have a rule. We either do sunrise or we do sunset, but we don't do both. So the other thing that you'll find with the Tetons is that when you've had a series of weather fronts come through, it often leaves residual clouds, and it can be very atmospheric and interesting to photograph all day long, or at least through to 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, don't worry if you're not a real early morning person. You can still get some beautiful photographs here late morning, early afternoon.
And there's a couple of locations to the east that we're going to share with you that are good for late afternoon, such as Red Hills.
Yes.
Our first morning was at Oxbow Bend. This is one of the more iconic and famous spots in the Tetons, and very, very popular with photographers. We've been here many times before. We enjoy this location, and we find it a fairly straightforward one to get your feet wet when you first arrive in the Tetons. The following photographs are a mixture of those that were taken during our last trip and this trip.
Well, it's a very early 5:30 here out on the shores of Jackson Lake in Grand Teton National Park, and we're hoping for some sunrise. We thought we might come to this location because if the water is still, then you can get some mountain reflections in the water. But today does not appear to be that day. We have pretty good ripples here. And you can see that both Shawn and I have set up our cameras, but we currently have hats or cloths covering them because we've been having some rain sprinkles. Now there's clouds up overhead, but as we look towards the north, it's really clear. So it could just be a passing sprinkle. We're standing near the foot of Signal Mountain, so we don't expect that our foreground will get lit up too soon this morning. However, we should get a nice glow on the top of the mountains if there's a break in the clouds in the southeast or northeast, which will be the rising of the sun in the summer. So we'll keep our fingers crossed we get a little glow there. Good morning, Shawn.
Good morning, Corinne. We're out taking some photographs of Mount Moran this morning. It was a very, very wet night, and we were kind of skeptical as to whether things would clear off enough to actually get some photographs. Getting a really early blue hour photograph that was really quite interesting. It's very dark and very moody, which was kind of fun to take. Now we're starting to get some light back behind the mountain there and some color in the clouds, and it's probably going to be fairly pretty, although I think it's probably going to be very, very short-lived. So let me just take that photograph before it disappears on me. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Would not have expected to get that photograph this morning. So we're going to play a little bit more with the color in the clouds until it disappears, and then we're going to try to get some photographs with some just nice early morning light on the mountain. Very, very simple photograph. It's just a reflection in the lake. I'm using a 2-stop neutral density filter to slow down the camera a little bit. I have a little polarizer in front, although it's probably not doing much right at the moment. And then I have a 4-stop soft edge neutral density filter just to bring the sky brightness down a little bit to match what's going on in the water. Other than that, very simple photograph.
I see you have a new look going on this morning, Shawn.
Yep, I've got my double hat going for me. So my top hat is actually for the camera. It was insisting on raining on us this morning, so I brought out my hat to keep my camera dry, and more than just that, to keep the filters from getting rain spots on them. This hat, of course, is to keep me warm because it is still fairly cold out here in the mornings.
So we were here to try and get some reflection in the lake of the mountains, but there's a bit of a breeze on the lake. So it's not as easy as just setting up the camera and shooting away. What techniques do you have to slow down the shutter so that you get the best possible reflection?
Okay, well, the first and most important thing is to be on a tripod, then to use a low ISO setting, and then try to move your f-stop up to maybe 18 or 19, maybe 20, and then finally we use ND filters. So the way I'm doing it this morning is I'm using a 4-stop solid ND filter over the lens and a 2-stop solid ND filter over the lens.
top of Signal Mountain. Well, not quite the top, but near the Jackson viewpoint. And we're just getting a look around at the lovely layering effect of trees in the foreground, lake in the midground, and Tetons in the background.
As you can see me setting up the moment lens on my iPhone in the background as Corinne talks about our location. The photographs you're seeing now and the next two are both taken with the moment lens. We enjoy using this lens whenever we're not carrying our big cameras, or when we want to take a quick photograph for either our memory or just to document an area for later photography. The photographs that follow are the ones taken with our 35mm cameras. So, Corinne, what do you think of our trip to the Tetons today and the merciless mosquitoes this morning?
Well, I could do without the mosquitoes, but I'm happy that it's not raining. We had rain for the first few days, and it was sketchy whether you'd get any sunrise or not.
Yeah, in fact, several mornings we got up in the rain thinking, well, I don't know, we'll go look, we're here. And fortunately, we were rewarded almost every morning.
Yeah, a couple times we thought about climbing back in bed.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly out here a few of the mornings that we got up, and it was cold. I mean, it was in the low 40s this week while we were here, and wet. So not the most comfortable time to be here.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed coming along with us for this trip to the Grand Teton National Park. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of our videos, please consider subscribing. That helps us a lot. And if you want to know when we post new videos, just hit that notification bell.
And don't forget, we love hearing from you, so don't hesitate to leave us a comment. We try to answer all of them. We certainly read them all, and we really enjoy hearing from you. So take care.
Bye for now.
And bye for now.
Well, that brings an end to this week's episode. We sure hope you enjoyed it. We're going to leave you today with a series of photographs and video of the various animals that we saw while we were in the Grand Teton National Park. We'd also want to leave you with a question. Why is it that the bison crosses the road when the traffic is at its heaviest? If you ever wondered why people get mauled by bears in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park, well, here's why. This fellow out of his car trying to take closer photographs of not only a mama, but the 3 cubs. If you don't want to be a candidate for the Darwin Award that year, please stay in your car. It isn't worth it getting out to chase these beautiful animals. Until next time, bye for now.